Mhm. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me in this week's podcast. And today is the 27th of August. I've been rather random with my recordings. Apologies due to moving house and all been a bit Eclipse Portal whirl around. So I'm a bit late again this week. It's Wednesday here in the Southern Hemisphere. And yeah, we're looking ahead for the rest of the week and until early next week. So until the 31st, or yeah, until the 1st of September. So we're closing out the month of August and ushering in the month of September. And yeah, it feels like this year is flying and I feel like from here it's gonna feel even faster. There is a lot more momentum because we're in eclipses and where everything is speeding up, and I feel like we all might be running around a bit frantically, and so big energies at the moment. So what we will look at, we now have the sun is in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo and Pisces, that axis, it's going to play a big role because that's where we have the eclipses in the month of September. The first eclipse on the 8th of September, it's a total lunar eclipse visible in Australia, and that's a full moon. Lunar eclipses are always full moons, and in the sign of Pisces on the 8th of September. I'll not gonna go too much into detail, just a little bit because yeah, it's not happening just this week, but that's so here on Monday, the 8th of September, first eclipse. But nevertheless, we're already in the eclipse portal, and we're probably all feeling it, and also very auspicious this lunation. We have two new moons in Virgo. So we just had a new moon in Virgo only 3 days ago, 4 days ago, at the very first degree of Virgo. And then on the 22nd of September, we're gonna have another lunation in Virgo, at the last degree of Virgo. So that's a big deal when we have two new moons in the sign of Virgo. So we can really see the Virgo energy is really, really strong right now. And the main theme for Virgo is the word discernment. What what am I closing out? What am I calling in? Discerning, making decisions, moving things forward, decluttering, closing things out, what is no longer serving me. Virgo is really good in being organized, having a plan, being very linear, having being of service, and also very also future oriented, being very ready to take action, to being earthy, being very health and wellness conscious, um and so also with the sign of Virgo, and I was talking about that in my last video on the new moon in Virgo. Virgo is sometimes, it's that one sign that is quite paradoxical because there is that belief and that mystery or the myth around Virgo being the Holy Virgin. And I feel that's only because there is a certain purity to Virgo, because she's very dedicated. It's almost like, we're really, she's very zen, she's wise. There is that, she holds in the tarot, represents the card of the Hermit. She holds the torch, the light of wisdom. So it's a beautiful time to prepare, to get ready, to put our visions into action, because she's so organized. So it's a really good month, a beautiful lunation to line up the ducks in a row, to straighten out things, to declutter, to downsize. There's also, because with Virgo we want to streamline things. What is it that I no longer need, which can be on an inner level. It can be any kind of habits. Eating habits are really big. This is a great lunation it's actually the next 2 months, I would say, are really good to declutter from the inside, also sweeping out the cobwebs in our brain because our thinking mind can be quite exaggerated as well. So we wanna zen out everything and just make life simpler. Being Virgo is about simplifying. There is because the process there is in a bit of a unhealthy sense. Sometimes we can be striving too much for perfection, which I feel like which puts conditions onto things. We are not open for a flow if we are expecting things to be a certain way, if we want things to be perfect, including ourselves. There can be high expectations on ourselves where, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't have that degree, I can't do that yet. So we can be a bit hard on ourselves. So it's really important as Virgo rules health, well-being, daily routines, rituals, what we do for work. So we're really feeling into all these areas. What are my eating habits? Where can I make some adjustments? Would a detox be any good? What about fasting? What about, yeah, making some changes, subtle changes? We don't want to do anything radical or dramatic or feel like, fuck, I've been, yeah, eating too much, or I've been, yeah, pigging out on this and that, or I'm too gluttonous in general. Yeah, maybe we want to ease into a phase where we say, okay, um, well, because I feel like, and that's an interesting, addictions are really big as well in that time because Pisces is about addictions, also filling a gap, filling a void, wanting to escape reality. So that's where addictions come in, whatever it is, food, sex, we're all addicted to so many things. Eating is such a habit, emotional eating. We can be, yeah, addicted to our pain bodies. So there's a lot that we can, yeah, tune into through a compassion. Pisces reminds us to be compassionate with ourselves, with others, and what are we ready and willing to let go of? That's no longer serving, that's unhealthy, without being radical about it or saying like, oh my God, I have to start right now and I'm not going to eat from here on or whatever. It's really, it's a slow process and yeah, because it's about implementing new routines, new rituals, because the sixth house that Virgo rules, it's also exercise, for example. Maybe we feel okay. Might be good to pick up an exercise routine, something gentle, breath work, walking, whatever it is that works for us. So Venus is really supporting us, encouraging us, sort of, yeah, out with the old, in with the new, in within the spirit of gentleness. We don't want to be hard on ourselves or beating ourselves up, or because the human condition is very complex. It's a paradox in so many ways. And like we have everything within, we are powerful beyond, and still we're playing it small. We tell ourselves, and society tells us you can't, and this, don't do that. And it's like there is so many limitations in many ways. And so we often limit ourselves and don't even believe or think like how powerful we are. So this is a time to tap into our power, power within, power without. Also, Virgo is dedicated. She's that there, yeah, there's a dedication, mentally, physically to a path. So if we make choices, she's gonna help us. Virgo is gonna help us to stick to it because there is also a long-term plan, and there is, yeah, it's about the process. Virgo has a certain sacredness about her. So Virgo is it's a beautiful paradox, Virgo. Yeah, there's a sacredness because she's so engaged with the cyclical nature of everything, the cycles of the moon, nature's ways of yeah, of birthing, dying. She's just really, really switched on. And so that will help us to tune into our physical bodies and our wholeness as a general, really moving, allowing all the layers, all the parts working together. And I feel this Virgo season is really inviting us, yeah, to be also more conscious about things and about ourselves and others. Also supported by Mars in Libra, there is cooperation with others. While we want to be of service, there's also, we don't want to tap into the Pisces energies of self-sacrifice. We don't want to be the martyr. We really want to claim our power, collaborate, cooperate, creating team situations. At the same time, excuse me, also being an individual, being our unique selves. And we've already, because this lunation 4 days ago started with a new moon at the first degree of Virgo in an exact square to Uranus. Uranus is the mover, the shaker, pulls out the rug beneath our feet. It's a lunation that is quite expect the unexpected. There can be boom, so many things happen. Oh, I didn't expect that, and what am I going to do now? And so we are also really required and invited to be very present. And while Virgo wants to plan ahead and wants things a certain way, here is the South Node in Virgo, which is reminding us to, all right, chillax, take a chill pill, allow yourself to surrender, be in the moment, don't be rigid. Um, yeah, try not to control anything, because what can we really control? We can't control anything. We know by now how changeable the world is, how well our health, everything is changeable. We can't control anything, and particularly not ourselves, nothing really, and definitely not other people. And so can we tune in to, am I controlling? Where am I coming from in what I want to achieve? Because Virgo also, I feel like, yes, we want to dream big, we want to have visions and work
Mhm.
towards that, the beautiful, positive future, and envisioning and having a plan, but also keeping it loose. This lunation and this eclipse season in the
Mhm.
mutable signs of Virgo and Pisces. Virgo is the mundane, the organization. Pisces is chaos. Can we bring order into chaos? And chaos is really, the ancients saw chaos as the primordial void, where nothing looked itself in the mirror. We are all, there is a beautiful zero state of beingness. And I feel like Virgo and Pisces also, there is, yeah, a love for meditation, being in the moment, just being really zen, just also finding stillness. Virgo, the hermit, loves to be in her solitude. And when I say her, his as well. So it doesn't matter what sex, what gender, what sexual orientation, doesn't matter. So Virgo, the hermit, needs solitude, because that's where the wisdom is born. When we can move ourselves away from the busyness, from the noise, the distractions, that's where that's where the moment is born, where we can feel, sense, and sit with our heartbeat, whatever that is, whether, and it's really like, if we can be conscious in all the little things that we do, whether it's doing the dishes, how we open a door, it doesn't matter how small, if we can do it with great presence. And that's an invitation here. Because also energetically during eclipse time, everything is speeding up, and we might be rushing around more because there is more demands on us, there are people want us, there is new possibilities from, and we sometimes, and we really want to avoid that rushing around, because we're also more accident prone. Um, during this time. And so it's really finding the balance between the mundane, our physical existence, and also our greater higher self, a greater version of ourselves. a symbolic way of being where the symbols are speaking and we're bringing the sacred into the mundane and vice versa. So this is big, big energies right now as the sun moves through the sign of Virgo. And we have eclipses coming up with the first one, total lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces. Gonna be quite emotional because it's in a water sign. There might be, and because Virgo is so much about letting go, discerning what's no longer serving, it automatically brings up grief. There is grief for dreams yet unlived, grief around, yeah, what hasn't been or what could have been. And so also allowing ourselves to digest. Venus is about digestion, digesting what's been happening, digesting the past, and being compassionate with ourselves, even if we feel like I fucked up, I didn't do well here, and so what? I mean, nothing really matters like that because I mean, it's a pretty limited time that we are here in this physical experience, and it feels like time is speeding up, and yeah, can we give each moment our everything? And if we do that, it doesn't matter. And sometimes the everything that we can do may not be our best, greatest version. So what? We're learning. And yeah, so there's a great reminder of tuning in because Virgo is the sixth sign in the zodiacal wheel. Something is ending there. There is we are really incorporating all the elements. And that's why also Virgo is the wise one, because the wisdom comes through the experience, through the heroic journey, throughout the lifetime. And then after Virgo, we have Libra, where we take the wisdom into the relationships that we build. So, but first, she's the last sign of the inner journey. So, what are we learning on an inner level here? And then also, yeah, Uranus is a big influencer. And yeah, also in my next podcast, I will be talking a lot more about Uranus because we're not just gonna have the eclipse on the 8th of September. We also have Uranus going retrograde for the last time in our lifetime. Uranus retrograde through back into Taurus for a 5 months period. So this is going to take us into 2026. And that's going to be crucial because Uranus is already giving us a flavor, very future oriented. And of course, we've all been hearing and practicing AI, ChatGPT. There is a lot more new technologies, ancient technologies. In this modern world, things are speeding up, new ways of communicating. So there's a lot of newness. And now on the 7th of September, Uranus will go retrograde back into the sign of Taurus. And that's going to be sort of a last 5 months of, I feel a lot's going to happen during those 5 months. We are looking at, and just a little recap here. A little preview of Uranus retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is the earth, and Uranus is change. So there's earth changes coming. There can be natural changes, weather conditions, but we're also looking at, and I feel like those earth changes, we're also going to feel them in the body. We are upgrading, we are stepping more into our wholeness and also revisiting certain themes, as well as we're looking at finances. So this is the next 5 months when Uranus goes retrograde, particularly from November onwards, financial resets, big changes coming. So whatever, I don't want to go into that, whatever you think about that. So big change is happening. And Uranus is igniting epiphanies, lightning strike, um, yeah, transcending dimensions, sudden revelations, a path to individuation. So really, really big time. And also this lunation has that individual touch because we have the Uranian flavor, which says like, you're a unique individual, shine in the world, be yourself, doesn't matter, be quirky, be weird. The world needs you. We don't need to fit in, we don't need to fit a status quo. doesn't matter. We don't need that because that's a conditioned structure anyway. And structures are crumbling, falling, hierarchies are dissolving, dismantling. This is huge, big, big times. And I feel like this eclipses and the axis between Virgo and Pisces. Yes, there is a lot of letting go of old ways of being. We're bringing in maybe new opportunities, new people, while also letting go of old relationships, possibly. What's, yeah, it's no longer fit because our frequency is upgrading, changing. If we want to make the changes where maybe some people, they don't fit in anymore. So there is grief around that as well because there is a letting go as we yeah, also, I mean, it's a beautiful thing bringing in actually the people that are the frequency that we are now, and the old self and all the old parts are crumbling. And whoever is not aligned for us to walk with us, it will fall away. Whether we're ready or not, we can hold on and cling and be attached. But we are, yeah, learning to detach more. That's a big lesson here, which can come with and I feel it's so important to allow anything because a lot of us are going through deep pains around so many areas in our lives. Also, Virgo rules work, what we are doing. So we're also revisiting, am I happy and satisfied with what I'm doing? Is it giving me meaning and purpose or not? Or do I want to make changes? So a lot of us are going to change work life or adjust things and bringing in new areas, try new things, and it's so much newness, which also we need time to integrate and not just rush through, and we need to yeah be in the moment and allow and making decisions, sometimes tough decisions. And so we also now we got Venus in Leo, beautiful. So she's out of Cancer, big shift of energy. Only 2 days ago, Venus moves into Leo. She will be there until the 20th of September. Um, so yeah, she's exuberant, she's the warmth of the heart, the lion-hearted goddess. She has fire in her bones, she's sexual, she is creative tension. We might feel that creative spark that's maybe been lying dormant because in Cancer she's not outgoing, she's more inwards. Now we are again opening up, being more voluptuous, exuberant, and really connected with the creative spark. And as she right now is in the first degree of Leo, she immediately opposes Pluto. So Venus, love, relationships, beauty, grace, creativity meets the Lord of the underworld, opposing a force that is deeply transformational. So again, maybe a lot of us are going through deep transformations in their relationships, maybe taking a relationship to the next level, transforming together, growing, going into the depth of being, having sacred sexual experiences, going really deep and unleashing what needs to come up. And some relationships might go to the bottom of the barrel and don't come up anymore together and say, okay, now is a time to, because Pluto is fierce. There is no fucking around with Pluto. Whenever we meet Pluto, then it's a deep transformation. It's like transform or die is the message. And again, the more we can be flexible, the better. And being yeah, allowing transformation on a deep level. And the people that are meant to be with us, they will stay. They will applaud us for our transformational self, and we will applaud them. And yeah, so big, big times. And also the suppressed feminine. Maybe we are coming to a point where we feel, well, I want to be creative, and there's something that's where I feel held back. Where is that within me? Where is that without me? And also I feel like a lot of structures and layers are falling away as we're tapping into the Venusian heart energy. What makes my heart sing? The creative fiery spark. and following that. So till the 20th of September, we got a lot of crispiness, we got a lot of sparkiness, and let's claim it. Let's claim our sexuality. And also Pluto might remind us, yeah, there's so much shame and guilt around the basic, most beautiful expression of our sacred sexuality and our body image. And so there is so much that might come up and that we are, yeah, letting go of the shackles of the past, no more. And so she's fiery, and also Mercury in the sign of Leo. There is also heartwarming conversations, um, really strong fire energy. And we have Saturn and Neptune in Aries, they're retrograding. Also, Neptune is moving backwards and will move into Pisces again for some month. I have to look up for how long. But also the last time Saturn in Pisces retrograde, and that's gonna happen immediately on the 1st of September, 2nd of September. And then that's a 29-year cycle that we're looking at here. So this is big. And yeah, revisiting themes and again claiming our sovereignty, our authority. Who am I now? And we are changing so much. And then we got Mars still in the sign of Libra, where we are very other oriented, also being careful that we are not, again, being the martyr. We are not always looking after others. We are looking after ourselves, making decisions, because Mars in Libra can be a bit undecisive and maybe not. Yeah, so definitely we don't want to contain energies, not during eclipse season or in any time, because yeah, it needs to be moved through the body, through the being, through breath, through movement. Very, very important. So we got really, really strong energies here with Uranus, the mover and shaker, getting ready to station and go retrograde on the 7th of September. Saturn retrograding back into Pisces. So we have like these major players in societal changes that are changing signs, the outer planets. And that's a big deal because there is societal changes that we will hear and see on the world stage around, yeah, finances, world events, around um, changes in nature. Mother Earth is changing. And then also, um, yeah, that like Saturn is Lord of karma. There is a steadiness. There is a commitment to self. And as we go back into Pisces, there is also we are aligning with our spiritual values, with a greater vision, and also again letting go of the negative traits of Pisces, the brainwash, the matter, we might hear about occurrences, whatever, in the church, in the yeah, there's so much so much stuff going down, and yeah, I feel will revelations and revolutions are in the card. And yeah, and then also this week we got Mercury in a trine to Chiron. So also communicating our vulnerability, talking with others, dropping into the heart. There's a huge healing quality with Chiron, the wounded healer. We also this new moon in the sign of Virgo also is holding that chironic, the wound, the healing of the suppressed feminine and masculine. So that's a theme as well, because the lunation started with, yeah, the sun and moon in square to Uranus in Virgo, and then also Venus was still in Cancer in a direct square to Chiron. So there is that masculine feminine balance, and I feel that's a big theme and moving us forward towards a very hope-filled, positive future, and for us to, yeah, to be the creative spark, the infinity spark that we came here as, and also really claiming our power, not no matter what we are told. And how we are playing it small. We are powerful beyond, and yeah, everything is within us, and it will reveal itself more and more in our outer world as we are expressing ourselves through that powerhouse and essence that we are, which is love and nothing else. Anyway, I'm on a rant. I feel like I'm preaching here, dropping, topping, dropping, tapping, dropping into the Piscean preaching mode. But no, I never want to convert anyone, and everything that I'm saying, it's not the truth. It's not, it's my, yeah, my insights, what I feel. And I really feel that, yeah, the future is very positive and we are doing it. And it's that self-empowerment is really strong as individuals, and as individuals we meet the greater society and our kindred spirits, and creating those sustainable communities and creating the world that we really came here for. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a little forecast for this week. And next week, I'll be talking a lot more about the eclipses because they're right in front of the door. And then also on Monday, I'll be sharing about, because then Saturn is going retrograde into Pisces. Uranus is preparing its retrograde motion, and yeah, big, big energies. And also this month, we have all the personal planets are changing signs in September, I shall say. So it's huge energy shifts, and we will certainly feel it. And if we can feel it, we can heal it. And yeah, being our unique selves, it's so crucial more and more. Okay, bye for now. Thanks so much for listening and watching, and have a beautiful rest of your week. Ciao.